Welcome back. Today I am going to talk about the horror movie Jeepers Creepers from 2001. This movie is almost 25 years old. 25 years. That means I'm an old guy. Back in the day when I was young, I used to think that this movie was the scariest thing on the planet. I really thought so. So obviously, I had to rewatch this movie to find out if it's still as scary as I once thought it to be. Now, some horror movies lean on cliches. Well, most of them. Jeepers Creepers also leans on the cliches of the classic horror movies. This movie actually does get under your skin, at least for a while. For a while, this movie, Jeepers Creepers, feels legitimately creepy. It feels unsettling until it isn't. So, what starts as a very creepy, road trippy type of movie unravels into something much less scary. And that is the main problem with this movie. So, let's talk about what this movie is about. The movie Jeepers Creepers is about two siblings, Derry and Trish, who drive home on a remote country road. And they encounter a terrifying truck driver, or at least something that we think is a truck driver because we don't know who is driving the truck. And later on in the movie, they see this person who is driving the truck dumping bodies, or at least it appears that this person is dumping bodies somewhere remote. Now, normal people would just say, hell no, and drive off and go home. But of course, it's a horror movie, so we can't have that happen. So, Derry and Trish, they are very nosy, they are very curious, so they are going to investigate what the hell is going on. And obviously, that draws them into this nightmare because they discover they've just crossed paths with a monster that resurfaces every 23 years to feed on people, basically to kill people. And at first, oh my god, it feels tense, it feels terrifying, it is eerie, it's everything you want from a horror movie. Until we actually figure out what this creature is, until we actually see this monster. And then the cracks start to show. So that is just the summary of this movie. So let's get into the things that are good. The first thing that I really enjoyed about this movie is the first part. The first half of this movie, it's excellent. It's everything you want from a horror movie. We get this wide open rural setting. We get the sense of isolation. We get this rusted truck just driving down the road. It's creating genuine terror. So that's really, really, really good. The atmosphere, the tone, the movie nails the atmosphere early on. From the first minute, it works. It plays with silence, it plays with the shadows. We get some paranoia going. And the idea that someone could possibly be dumping bodies in the middle of nowhere, it's just horrifying. And why? Well, because it feels grounded. It feels like this is actually possible in real life. This could be happening. And when you watch a horror movie, I think it is important that what you see on screen, that it is something that makes you go, oh my God, that's something that could happen, basically in my backyard. It could happen in my city. So a horror movie should feel grounded to a degree because that is what makes it eerie. That is what makes it scary. What I also really liked was the truck as a villain. So not the monster itself, but the truck as a villain. We don't know who's driving the truck, but we do get this creeper's truck just driving up and down the road. And basically the truck is being portrayed as a villain. I mean, the thing is loud, it looks creepy, it is unsettling, it is unstoppable. So that works really well. If you say Jeepers Creepers, you think truck. This truck harassing, uh, just harassing Derry and Trish. The sibling dynamic, the brother and sister, the banter between them feels good. It feels natural. So the fear that they have, it feels more relatable, and you actually care about them because they feel like real people. They don't really feel like your horror cliches. They don't just fill up the plot, really. They're not just insert your cliche. They actually feel like real people. So that works really well, makes the movie feel more realistic. And then the concept of the creeper works well. The idea that we have this monster that absorbs qualities from its victims. So he needs to kill people to survive. So if he kills someone, he eats the lungs because he needs to breathe. He needs to see, so he needs to eat the eyes. So that idea, the concept of it, it is just twisted, it's creepy, it's unsettling, it's what you want. Right? It's something ancient, something horrifying that goes beyond just being a slasher killer type of horror movie. So those are the things that I really enjoyed about this movie. So if you watch this movie, the first part of this movie, I would say excellent. Very, very good. But there's also a few problems with this movie. And the main thing that really kills the tension is the moment the moment the villain is actually revealed as a winged demon. The mystery is gone, the tension is gone, the creepiness is gone, and the thing that was known as a terrifying entity that we didn't know what it was now just becomes a rubber suit monster, basically. And sometimes less is more. Sometimes less really is more. So I think that is the problem that this movie really has, that the first part is really creepy, you don't know what is going on, and then they reveal the creeper, and then the tension it's just gone. Something else that doesn't really work is the inconsistency in the creeper's power levels. I mean, 1 minute he's being run over, and the next minute bullets don't hurt him. So they don't really know where the power level of this monster is. What can hurt him, what can't hurt him. It's a little bit all over the place. So we don't know really what the rules are. Then we have the psychic character in the movie that doesn't really work as well. I mean, the idea is good, the execution not so much, because later on it becomes a problem. Because as a psychic, she can see the future, but suddenly she knows all these details about this monster, about this creeper, what the rules are, where he lives, about this 23-year cycle. And basically, what is going on is just info dumping, which takes away all the tension, and it robs us as the watcher of the mystery of the movie. So that's not done very well. Something else that isn't done very well is the foreshadowing. Of course, you need to foreshadow some things, but what this psychic character also does is she keeps hinting about Derry's fate, which makes the finale very predictable instead of just shocking us. So the ending feels something that we see coming from miles ahead. And horror thrives on surprise, and this movie, it just telegraphs the final blow of the movie. Too heavy, it's too on the nose. I didn't really like that. I mean, you need to foreshadow some things. I mean, most movies are to a degree predictable, but this didn't feel really well earned. Then also we have this messy mythology of this creature. It all feels a little bit stitched together without much cohesion. The film can't really decide if it wants this creature to be, a slasher movie, a mythical horror. They don't really know what to do with the creature, so it's a little bit all over the place. And like I said, in the beginning, the tone and the atmosphere feels really good, but after the reveal of the monster, the whole atmosphere and the tone it collapses. So what begins as a grounded, very suspenseful horror eventually drifts into something that I would say is almost comically or comic book territory, right? We get a monster with wings and it loses all groundedness, all grounded fear that made the opening so incredibly strong. So, yeah, overall, Jeepers Creepers, I would say, is a movie of two parts. The setup is fantastic, it's genuinely creepy, it's generally speaking very good, at least the first half. We got this terrifying truck, we got some good sibling chemistry, the creeper feels unsettling. But the second part, well, the movie loses all mystery and the rules collapse and we don't really know what is going on. So I would say watch this movie, especially for the first part. And I would give this movie like maybe like a 5 or 6. For a horror movie, it's quite well done. And yeah, that's my take on it. I hope you enjoyed it and let me know what you think. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye bye.